if you think about them, at least for me, what I notice is they're often self-preservation emotions. You know, fear, keeps you safe, anxiety, apprehension, keeps you vigilant. So a lot of times what I know is the emotions that have that sort of provocation to them, they're emotions that are there to take care of you, but they're there to ward off something or to keep me safe in some way, to take care of me, because there is potential danger. And if you think about it, I always find it so interesting because some emotions are so pleasant. Wow, it's such a lovely emotion. Some are so unpleasant. And what we've done often is interpret that as positive and negative. Oh, negative emotions, those are the ones that are unpleasant. But if you think about how would an emotion get your attention if it didn't produce something? And the ones that produce a really strong perturbation, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable, are often the ones that are really necessary to pay attention to in that moment. Because if you think about another emotion, like I'll pick Brian's favorite. Brian's favorite emotion that we ever covered in any of the sessions was?
There's so many. I can't think. I know the one you're talking about. It doesn't come to me right now.
Was it prudence?
Prudence.
Yeah.
Prudence.
Dementia.
And I remember when he came to the call, because I always send the notes ahead of time. At the end of the call, he said, "Oh my God, when I saw the word prudence, I was like, this is going to be so boring. What could we talk about for an hour and 15 minutes about prudence?" But you know, if you think about emotions like prudence and modesty, and they're really quiet emotions. You know, they don't get your attention unless you look for them, or unless somebody says, well, that's a little immodest, right? And then, oh, but now that's embarrassment, right? Or shame, right? Now you're going to one of those other emotions. So I think that, in my view, what you're experiencing is what human beings experience because it keeps us safe. And because we're not conscious, we're not aware that we do have a choice. And although I'm not a big supporter of, you know, whatever it is, positive psychology, what's good about it is it's saying we have a choice. You know, you're not a victim of your emotions. They come up, they show up for some purpose. And what did I say yesterday? I don't care if you like them or not, right? They're there to do a job. And those are there to do a job. And one of the things that I also notice is that certain emotions like anxiety, it's quite easy for them to become habitual for people. So that anytime they feel the least bit of discomfort, and it could be the heat, they could be a little bit hungry, somebody could look at them a certain way, anxiety shows up because it's so available to them. Now, it has a purpose, but at some point it's counterproductive, like it doesn't serve you. Right? And so this is, for me, why it's so important to realize that we have choice, to notice, look at how often anxiety shows up for me. What are my other options? Because in any situation, whatever that emotion is, you know, there's more than 200 others you could cultivate in its place. So now, when you're a little bit hungry, instead of going to anxiety, you might go to curiosity, or you might go to amazement or wonder, or any of these other, or self-compassion. So you have lots of other emotions you could go to, but the emotions that show up are just the ones that show up. You didn't ask for it, right? It showed up, it's there to do something, but it doesn't mean you need to stay there. And I think this is, for me, a really big learning. And it's associated with, I went through this morning, and there's kind of, for me, 3 categories of questions here. And one of them is, how do I shift emotions? What do I do when I have this emotion show up, and it's not the emotion that, in my assessment, is serving me? I would like something else. Okay? So, can we work with this just a little bit?
Yeah.
So, Susie,